basis of the 45th GST Council meeting, series of notifications and circulars have been issued. Notification number 35 of Central Tax CGST dated 24th September talks about certain changes in the provisions of the law. The first one is mandatory for aadhaar authentication in certain cases. Second one is relaxation in the dates of ITC 04 filing by the taxpayers who are doing job work activity. Third one is with respective to the return filing. There is the new validation which has been introduced from 1st of Jan 2022. If previous month's returns is not filed, then the subsequent month returns cannot be filed. Fourth one is issue of refund, where taxes has been invariably paid wrong. That is the place of supply determined as intrastate supply in place of interstate and interstate supply as intrastate supply. These are the major changes announced in notification number 35. In notification number 36, the major changes are exemption for aadhaar authentication in certain category of taxpayers. The changes announced in the notification are very critical for the taxpayers, especially when it comes to the aadhaar authentication or claiming of refund or for filing of returns. If the taxpayer wants to claim refund or apply for revocation of registration, then it is mandatory for such taxpayers to go and do the aadhaar authentication. Or because of some cash flow or some reason or the other, if returns are not filed in the previous months, then the new validation makes it even more mandatory to complete filing of the previous month's returns. It has been observed in many cases, GSTR 1 is being filed and 3B is not being filed. So going forward from 1st of Jan 2022, if GSTR 1 and 3B for the previous month are filed, then only the subsequent month returns of 1 and 3B can be filed. So taxpayers have to be very cautious and make necessary changes to their business processes and act accordingly. The repercussions of these notifications are by and large very high or huge for the taxpayers. If aadhaar authentication, which is voluntary as on date, is being made now mandatory, and if the taxpayers fail to do the aadhaar authentication, then they cannot claim for refund, be it for export of goods or services outside India, or be it for claiming refund for wrong payment of taxes or interest or penalty or any other amount. In case if the taxpayers have to file application for revocation of registration, even in such case aadhaar authentication is mandatory and they can do it only after they do their aadhaar authentication. To improve the return filing compliance, the third one is previous month's returns if not filed, then subsequent month returns cannot be filed. So taxpayers who were not following this provision very carefully has to be very careful going forward. If they do not file their returns, it means that they'll be losing their business. So we need to treat GST as a business reform rather than a tax reform.